Cooking with Gloria. Today I want to share with you a very delicious jalapenos poppers. Yes, jalapeno poppers, my style. And I know that you guys are going to love and enjoy. But first things first, my apron is on, my hands are clean, and I am ready to show you my ingredients. My ingredients: cream cheese, eggs, jalapenos, of course, garlic powder, onion powder, bacon, Mexican cheddar mix, cheese, all-purpose flour, Italian crumbs, and of course oil. This is everything we need for this delicious jalapeno popper. So let's get started. The first thing I want to do is start with my bacon. I have 5 pieces of bacon that I have cut and diced in very small little pieces, and I want to go ahead and make it nice and crispy until it's really nice and crispy, just like this. Now I'm going to remove it and I'm going to continue mixing my cream cheese. I'm going to start by adding my cream cheese and just mixing it until it's nice and incorporated before I start adding my garlic powder and my onion powder. At this moment, let's add it in and let's mix it one more time until it's nice and incorporated to the sour cream. We want to make sure that everything is nice and incorporated before we start adding our cheese. I'm adding the cheese right now, and I'm going to go ahead and just mix it one more time, making sure that everything is nice and incorporated before I start adding my bacon. At this moment, the bacon is really now cold, and I'm just going to go ahead and with my hand, I'm going to crush it and just add it in there. We don't want big pieces in the jalapeno poppers. We want to make sure that every little jalapeno popper has bacon inside. So that's why I'm crushing it with my hands, making sure that everything is really nice and coated. And I'm going to mix it one more time. This is well and mixed, and you could see all those little pieces of bacon everywhere in this mixture. Now I'm going to go ahead and just put it aside, and I'm going to continue with my jalapenos. They're nice, washed and dried, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut them right through the middle. Remember, we need to get all the seeds completely out so that we could fill them with the delicious cheese mixture. Here, I'm just cutting the edge, and I'm helping myself with the spoon, getting all the seeds and all the little inner section out completely. We want to make sure that we take everything off just in case the jalapenos are very hot. I'm wearing some gloves because if they are, I don't want my hands to be burning all day long. So I'm going to continue taking all those seeds completely out. Like I said, helping myself with the spoon to make it easier for me. Here I have finished with all the jalapenos. Look at this. They are nice and clean from the inside. And now I am ready to start adding the cheese mixture. Okay, I have my jalapeno here with my hand. I'm just gonna make a little circle and then start adding it completely inside. We want to stuff them very good, so every bite we take, we have a little bit of the cheese. Well, not a little bit, it's gonna be a lot, but they look amazing. I'm gonna continue with the rest. Let me show you one more and how easy it is. I know that it's time consuming, but when you start enjoying them and your family starts eating them, you're going to say it was worth it. All these steps were worth it. Well, now here I'm just pressing on it. The good thing is that with the cream cheese, I even get it through the outside, just a little bit on the outside to make it easier for the all-purpose flour to stick on the jalapeno popper. Okay, these are completely done. And now I'm going to continue with the eggs. I have 3 eggs here, and I'm just going to mix them and incorporate them. And now I have my all-purpose flour and my Italian bread crumbs. I'm going to go ahead and assemble and start with my jalapeno. The first thing I like to do is put it through all-purpose flour, making sure that everything is really nice and coated. I'm going to go ahead, add it in the egg, and then one more time, put it in the all-purpose flour. Remember, have one wet hand and one dry so that you don't make such a big mess. From here, I'm going to go ahead and just put it again in the egg, and now I'm just going to add it into the Italian bread crumbs. They really have such a delicious flavor. That's why I like to use the Italian crumbs. Of course, you could use what you have at home, but right now, this is what I'm using. Look at this. This is completely done. I'm going to go ahead and put it in a plate and just leave it there until I continue with the rest. Remember, we're going to add it to the all-purpose flour first, making sure that we coat it completely, and then we're going to transfer it to the wet ingredients, to the egg, and then one more time to the all-purpose flour. So like that, you get really nice and coat everything completely. And when it's done, you could see all the layers. One more time into the egg, and finally to the breadcrumbs. Always remember to have one wet hand and one dry so that everything really is nice and assembled. Okay, look at this. This one is done, and I'm going to continue with the rest, doing one by one until I am completely done. Look, this is done. Okay, I am completely done. I'm just going to put it aside, and I'm going to continue by doing my dip sauce. The dip sauce is going to be so delicious and very easy. I have some sour cream here, and I'm going to add just a little bit of salt. And I'm adding the chipotle sauce, not the chipotle chili, only 3 tablespoons of the chipotle sauce. And I'm just gonna mix it around. This is everything we need for this delicious dip. Very easy, and I know that these are ingredients everybody has in their home. Okay, this is completely done. I have a pan on the stove, and it's really nice and hot, the oil, and I'm adding my jalapenos. I'm only adding 2 at a time. You don't want to add too many, or else they will not get nice and crispy. They will absorb a lot of oil, and that's exactly what we don't want. I have a plate here with some napkins so that I can remove the excessive oil from the jalapeno poppers. You want to make sure, look at this. You want to make sure that they are nice and crispy. The outside is nice and brown. And that's exactly how we want them. Making sure that your oil is preheated before you start adding your jalapeno poppers so that they don't absorb too much oil. Well, just add 2 at a time so that they get nice and crispy from both sides. You don't want to overfill, put too many at one time and then they don't get crispy. Okay, these are the last ones I have. And I'm going to go ahead and just take one by one out. And let me show you how crispy they are. All of them are nice and crispy. And of course, in some of them, you could even see the cheese gooey out. Look at these. These are completely done. I can't wait for the presentation, so I'll see you in a bit. But before I do that, let me cut one through the middle so that you could see all that cheese coming out and the little pieces of bacon. Oh my gosh. Okay, I am ready for the presentation. See you in a bit. done with these jalapeno poppers. This is the part I really love and enjoy tasting my recipes. This looks amazing and I'm sure they taste delicious. And I added some sour cream, a dip of sour cream and chipotle sauce. I didn't add a chipotle chili, only the sauce of the chipotle. Let me see how this came out. My mouth is already watering, and of course I want to taste this already. And with this dipping sauce, with even better. Excuse me. The sauce really gave it such a delicious flavor. Well, excuse me. And yet it's not too hot, okay? Excuse me. This really came out so delicious that I know that your family are going to love it and enjoy it. If you liked and loved my recipe, I invite you to subscribe, leave me a thumbs up, share my video in social media so more people get to know Cooking with Gloria. Don't forget to push the notification bell, and if you did, leave it activated so every time I make a new delicious recipe, you are going to be notified. Before I say I see you soon, I wish you nothing but the best. Peace and love. And of course, I will stay enjoying this delicious jalapeno popper. See you soon in the next delicious recipe. Bye-bye.